Dana White, the president of the UFC, it just got announced. He's promoting a huge boxing event. He's promoting a huge boxing fight. Dana White is promoting Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. News just broke out. This guy right here, I thought he was the president of UFC. All the UFC fans have been waiting for a huge fight announcement for International Fight Week for I don't even know how long now. This is what the UFC fans get. All right? We haven't got a single big fight yet. We didn't get Topuria versus Makhachev announced. They haven't made Jones versus Aspinall. And they haven't told us anything about Dricus versus Hamzat. But this gets announced? This guy doesn't care about UFC anymore. This is an embarrassment that he's promoting a huge boxing event when he can barely promote his UFC fighters. When he barely spends the time to make big fights for the UFC anymore. I remember at one time, the UFC was competing against boxing, especially against Canelo Alvarez. The UFC was doing Masvidal versus Diaz the same night as a Canelo Alvarez boxing fight. And guess what? We screwed over the whole boxing event. They had to postpone the Canelo fight for like 2 hours because all the fans were watching Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal. And look how the tables turned. This is supposed to be our competition. You're helping the other side. It's time to talk about Dana White needs to resign and get the hell out of the UFC. This is becoming a disgrace. He's making a mockery of the sport. I remember when UFC was first getting started and the boxing promoters were shitting all over MMA. They were shitting on the UFC. They called it human cockfighting. Joe Rogan was defending the sport. He said the UFC is here to stay. We're going to destroy boxing. Your sport, boxing, is getting swallowed by a bigger sport. Real fighting, ultimate fighting. And that was the case. Everyone watched UFC over boxing. Diaz vs. Masvidal was the real main event. They had to postpone the boxing main event with their biggest star, Canelo Alvarez. Now this is what gets announced? When MMA fans, UFC fans, have been dying and begging for a fight for International Fight Week. We want a huge main event. And this is what the UFC fans get. But this isn't the only reason why Dana White needs to get the hell out of the UFC and relinquish his job title. There's way more than this. We gotta talk about Dana White at every post-fight press conference these days. We're not talking about UFC anymore. We're talking about Power Slap. At every UFC press conference, he's promoting his stupid Power Slap League. If you don't know what Power Slap is, it's just two idiots slapping each other in the face. That's what Power Slap is. He calls it a sport. But let's listen to a typical UFC press conference these days. Oh, by the way, this was UFC 288. This is how long that Dana White's been talking about Power Slap. So take it away, Dana White. Show us what a UFC press conference looks like these days.
We're number one in all of sports. And when I say all of sports, if you take the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, F1, WWE, and who am I forgetting, and added them all together, their numbers don't compare to slaps.
If you took NASCAR, if you took the NBA, if you took the NFL and the NHL and WWE and combined them all together, you still don't have as many viewers as Power Slap. I don't know anybody that watches Power Slap. You don't know anybody that watches Power Slap. No one gives a shit about it. You know what he does? He hands out free tickets to social media influencers to create TikToks. And then he says, look at the numbers, look at the numbers. That's because it's a 5-second video of someone getting slapped. People can accidentally click on it and it counts as a view. But let's but let me play this video and prove my point of how Dana is ruining UFC press conferences talking about power slap. The reporter can't believe what Dana just said. One more time.
Their numbers don't compare to slaps. Yeah. Yeah.
Look at Dana White's stupid grin. Look at his stupid smirk. He knows he's full of shit. The reporter is dumbfounded. The reporter doesn't know to play along and be stupid or actually show that he has more than 2 brain cells and that he's not going to fall for Dana White's stupid fucking trick.
It seems a little doubtful.
Yeah, you can doubt it all you want.
I would.
Seems a little doubtful. I like this guy. Why aren't you talking about your fighters? Why don't you care about the sport anymore? Oh man, this reporter better go in.
I was covering for the finale of it, and I saw the numbers on Rumble, and there were people watching, but
There were people watching. It did 3.2 million viewers, and 1.7 million of them had never been to Rumble before.
well, I was one of those, that's for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But it certainly, that number didn't show up on that counter that Rumble
But
had.
that's how it works with
Reporter called Dana out for giving fake numbers about power slap.
when you stream. When it's streaming, it's not really the actual number right there.
Okay, who cares? This is a UFC press conference. What are we doing here? Arguing about how many actual views power slap has on TikTok? This was a pay-per-view card. Dana White could care less. You know what Dana White looks at UFC events as now? Dana White uses a UFC event as a stepping stone to promote bullshit power slap. Dana White doesn't even know a fight card just happened. He doesn't even know this is a UFC event, apparently. This is just a stepping stone for his stupid power slap league. Hello, do you know where you're at? You're supposed to be promoting your fighters, the guys with actual skill, the guys who actually have to put in work. Is this what we want to hear every time at a UFC press conference? Or do we want to talk about the fights that just happened? Dana, why don't you tell us fight of the night? Why don't you tell us performance of the night? Why don't you tell us who you want to see get the next title shot? Why don't you tell us the next big star in the UFC? Oh no! He doesn't even know he's at a UFC event. This guy doesn't care no more. Get him out. Let me just let it roll.
It's the same thing when you go live on Instagram. I mean, is Eric in here? What's a like if you have a big number and you're streaming?
Who cares? Who gives a fuck about Instagram live power slap views?
Exactly work. Right. Concurrence. What's a massive number when you're streaming? I mean, we were the biggest stream on a Saturday for slap. The good thing is that most of you guys don't understand social media and how it works. And
That's fine if no one understands social media and how it works. I want to understand the fight card and how that works. I want to understand why the UFC promoter can't promote a fight. I don't understand how that works. Why are you doing this for boxing? And this is what the fight fans get. This is our International Fight Week card. That's what I don't understand. That's what we don't understand. We could give a shit about how your stupid power slap works.
well, what publication are you from?
MMA Mania.
Okay. Well, I'll give you the numbers on slap.
No one's asking for power slap numbers. No one cares about how many views it got on your Instagram reel. Shut up already.
That were done by a third party that does this. We didn't pull the numbers. These guys are like the Nielsen's numbers.
This is a UFC pay-per-view. And this is UFC 288. That's how long this bullshit power slap has been going on.
For social media. We destroy everything in sports with power slap.
Look at his stupid, shitty grin. Golf gets more views than power slap. I hate watching golf. I bet it gets more views than power slap.
Okay. And are you at all concerned that some of it is perhaps, and I'll apologize in advance because it sounds a little rude, but
No, fire away.
Some of it might be laughing at, not with kind of a deal, like bad publicity being,
Do you think I give a shit?
That's
I just pulled. I give a shit. I give a shit.
All right, guys, here's Dana White being asked if he cares about the UFC.
Oh,
do you think I give a shit? I just did a deal that's bigger than the UFC did when they went on Spike TV. I don't give a shit who's laughing. You know who's laughing? This guy.
I hate this bald fat bitch. Yeah, you're laughing at all the money you're making from Power Slap. You're making a laughing stock of the UFC. You baldy. You know who's laughing? This guy. Ha 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 ha. You're making a mockery of the sport. You're ruining the fighters that actually have skill, that actually have to train, that actually are fighting for something.
There you go.
That's who's laughing.
That answered my question. Thank you.
No, my pleasure.
My pleasure. My pleasure to ruin the UFC. My pleasure. I love ruining the UFC. What are you doing here? You're working for the other team. Get lost already. I had enough of this video. I can't even take this one. We got to move on to the next one. We got a lot to talk about with Dana White. Oh my gosh. And when he's not at the UFC press conference, Dana White spends his time going on ESPN shows and talk shows promoting, guess what? Not UFC, not his professional fighters. He's promoting Power Slap.
I want to realize something. So I started putting this thing on UFC's YouTube.
Yeah.
Why are you putting Power Slap on UFC's YouTube? Oh my gosh. This guy is purposely trying to destroy the UFC. It's not even accidental. He's putting Power Slap on UFC's YouTube, shoving it in our face. Why don't you just create a separate page for Power Slap?
You want to realize something. So I started putting this thing on UFC's YouTube.
Yeah.
No one asked for Power Slap videos on the UFC's YouTube.
Number 1, 2, 3, and 4 all-time video views are Power Slap on UFC's YouTube.
Why is that an accomplishment to you? And you're lying, first of all. So guys, if you go on the UFC's YouTube, the best content you could find is my Power Slap videos. Don't ever put a Power Slap video on the UFC's YouTube. This guy doesn't know how to promote Tom Aspinall. This guy doesn't know how to promote his fighters. But he's bragging about Power Slap on UFC's YouTube. Why don't you promote your UFC champions?
When you think about Conor McGregor, Khabib, you think about Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey, some of the big stars that we've had and some of the big moments.
Yeah.
What about the big stars? Is he about to compare Conor McGregor, Brock Lesnar, and Ronda Rousey to Power Slap people?
So The second biggest thing on my social media ever now is Max Holloway knocking out Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, that's a big viral moment. Max Holloway knocking out Gaethje.
Yeah.
You're not going to compare that to stupid power slap, are you?
It's number one is power slap.
When he
I might look like Dana White by the end of this video, guys, because I'm going to rip my fucking hair out. He just compared Brock Lesnar, Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, and Max Holloway's epic knockout of Justin Gaethje. He put it down to promote Power Slap. He said Power Slap has more views than all those fighters. This guy's shitting on his champions. This guy's shitting on the fighters that made him all the money. For two jabronis slapping each other. And no one gives a shit about Power Slap. This guy is on video shitting on his fighters to promote stupid Power Slap. Get out of the UFC. Who's with me? What does this guy add anymore? He's ruining the sport. He just said he's flooding social media with Power Slap. We don't even get UFC content anymore. All we get is a UFC embedded. We don't have the fighters face off. It's all Power Slap promotion. And let's not forget, boxing. We're going to promote boxing. We're going to promote Power Slap. But guess what? International Fight Week, the biggest fight week of the year. This is what the fans get. We still don't have a fight that's less than 2 months away. But this fucking boxing match that's in the fall has already been announced. Come on, Dana. Keep shitting on your fighters. What else do you got to say?
called him in the plot.
I am a massive number one.
Right. What about celebrities participating?
Oh my God. He's going to talk about Power Slap this whole interview. Let's move on. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. So not only is Dana White ruining the UFC with boxing promotion and Power Slap promotion only, he eliminated and got rid of the best heavyweight we've ever seen, Francis Ngannou. Here's a video of Dana White pretending like Jon Jones didn't hide from Francis Ngannou for 3 years. And here's a video of him shitting on Francis Ngannou, a guy that he let go.
Out for 3 years, comes back and beats Cyril Gane like that, easily. In my opinion, he does the same thing to Francis.
What?
100%.
Jon Jones can just walk through Francis Ngannou easily. That's why he hid from him for 3 years. Because it'd be too easy of a fight. Oh my gosh. One more time.
Does the same thing to Francis. Francis didn't want to fight Jon Jones.
Francis didn't want to fight Jon Jones. The hardest hitting, biggest scary heavyweight of all time. He didn't want any part of Jon Jones. Francis was the biggest heavyweight star besides Brock Lesnar that the UFC ever had. The day they released Francis Ngannou was the end of the heavyweight division. And that was the end of making superstars. They were too scared that the fighter could be bigger than the brand. So now you have to promote yourself. It's on you. Ngannou scared the UFC, guys. He scared Dana. So they don't care if they release Ngannou, which is nuts. You got rid of the biggest fight of all time, Jones versus Ngannou. And this guy is happy about it.
Out for 3 years, comes back and beats Cyril Gane.
Cyril Gane sucks. I mean, he just lost his last fight. It was rigged against Volkov. And they gave it to Cyril Gane. And now they're probably going to make Gane versus Aspinall to make Jon Jones look a little better. They're going to keep pushing Cyril Gane. But he doesn't have heart. He quit and gave up against Jon Jones. And Francis beat Cyril Gane.
Like that, easily. In my opinion,
He beat Cyril Gane like that, easily. That fight was weak.
he does the same thing to Francis. 100%. Does It's the same thing to Francis. Francis didn't want to fight John Jones.
I could play this video 100 times, and I'm still gonna be shocked. Francis Ngannou would have knocked John Jones's block off. And here's UFC 317. Here's International Fight Week. Dana White, promote the fucking fights or get out of the UFC.